segment is brought to you by New Leaf Natural Therapies, 94 Edith Street, Wynnum. Practitioners in naturopathy, kinesiology, live blood screening and natural fertility management. 3348 6098.
Station sponsor.
Well, there you go. New Leaf Therapies. That's
Yes.
the telephone number, and we'll give you that again a little bit later on in the program. But Madonna,
Absolutely.
what's happening?
Yeah, so while I'm away, the team is, Lynn and Sanu on the phones as always, and then our new practitioners, Ross and Angela, and our usuals, Rob and Shelby. So it's going to still be full steam ahead. We're open except for Tuesday, so we're just cutting down one day a week while I'm away.
Okay.
So Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and half a Saturday. So,
Okay, so
yeah.
there's a little process that just ring you up, make
Absolutely.
an
Have a chat about what you've got going on, and then the girls will, point you in a direction to start getting you on. I don't think I've got an appointment free till January now or something crazy like that. I get back and
wow. That's
it's
good, isn't it?
yeah. I'm exhausted in anticipation.
So you'll be away. So what can people expect? If they do want to give you a call, just run us through what you actually do, the process you do.
I think it doesn't matter what health issue you've got. We can help, because with chronic disease it's always good to have another perspective, and naturopaths will always look at things like blood tests differently from doctors. Now, I've said this a million times, doctors are looking for disease with your blood tests. So I had a lady, one of our clients from Sydney, and she sent me through her blood work, and the doctor had given a big tick everywhere, so everything was fine, including she's been really exhausted for a long time. And she insisted that her doctor do thyroid antibody tests. So with these, they're supposed to be below, because her TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, perfect. Her T4, T3 levels, perfect. So if you're lucky, those 3 tests will get checked if you ask for your thyroid to be done. Usually maybe only 2 of them. Anyway, so she insisted on having antibodies done as well as reverse T3. Her reverse T3 was through the roof, and so were her antibodies, which means that the immune system is attacking her thyroid. So at the moment, it would not have shown, they would never have found that if they had just done the normal tests. Because honestly, I looked at the normal thyroid tests and I just went, oh my God, it looks perfect for someone who's exhausted. This is a woman with chronic fatigue who keeps being told her thyroid's perfect. So what the antibodies mean, and once again, this is why it's good to have a naturopath look at things, is that what the antibodies mean is that the immune system is attacking the thyroid tissue. So on a daily basis, the immune system is confusing the thyroid tissue with something else like a bacteria or a virus or an undigested bit of dairy or gluten or soy or something.
That's amazing. So that can happen. The body can actually
absolutely
be misled.
That's what autoimmune is. So with autoimmunity, and there's well over 120 documented autoimmune diseases now, and there's lots of genes that you can have. So in our family, we're delighted to have the HLA-B27 gene, so we've all got it, and it predisposes to lots of stuff like Schumann's disease and ankylosing spondylitis and lots of autoimmunity with not so much the thyroid for some reason, but it does predispose us to all sorts of breast cancers and things like that. So, and once again, it's one of those things that doctors might check if you've got autoimmunity in the background. But just because it says no doesn't mean you don't have a problem. We've got many genes.
Some of those ailments have got some terrible names, haven't they?
I know, ankylosing spondylitis.
Yeah, that's right. You
Yeah.
think, what's wrong with my ankles?
Yeah, and I've got 2 clients who were really at the end of the ankylosing spondylitis, because what that does is fuses the spine. Are you aware of it? Do you know?
No, not
and
at
it's
all.
sort of like, I had a lady and she was only maybe 30 when I met her, when we were living up in Cooktown 25 to 30 years ago. And she was so stiff when she would drive her car, probably good thing she lived in Cooktown where there wasn't a lot of people on the road, but when she drove her car, she really couldn't turn to the left and the right because the entire neck was so fused.
Yeah, right.
And I had another guy who used to come in for massage regularly, and he was the same. And it's been a long time, but I used to think, man, you don't want to be in an accident on the road because you can't turn your neck.
Right.
They would have to
turn their whole body.
They had to turn their whole body to look out, the windows and to, a bit dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Yeah. Anyway, so luckily I think my brother's got Schumann's disease and my sister's got rheumatoid arthritis, and my brother Jimmy and I he's a doctor, I'm the naturopath, we've both managed to keep our autoimmunity under control.
Is that because of your knowledge of
Well, yeah, we both look after our health.
Yeah.
probably more so than anything. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, so with so I think you ring up the girls and you sort of say, I would honestly be honest with the girls on the phone if you're comfortable doing that. Say, hey, this is what I've got going on, because if it's a pain condition, they might recommend the massage or acupuncture or microcurrent or a naturopathic microcurrent combo. So you're getting a treatment and a naturopathic combo in one. So the microcurrent's amazing. An hour on that is equivalent to about 6 hours of massage. There's been some studies done with things like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. It actually activates ATP in the cells in the muscles. So it helps to both stimulate the growth of muscles as well as stimulate the energy production within the cells, which is a cool thing. So so basically the girls will sort of point you in a direction. If you like testing, some people would prefer to book in with Angela, because of the looking at the blood. Well, once again, I did one this week. I do love looking at blood. It's so much fun. I forget how much.
Look at me when you say that.
The guy who was in there, who's probably listening, hi. Hi, Daryl. I said to him right at the beginning, I said, the problem with this is the more fun I have looking at your blood, the worse your health is. Because I love finding things like atypical lymphocytes, atypical monocytes, signs of chunks of cholesterol, or there's all sorts of things you see in there that are pretty good fun for a practitioner.
What about acupuncture? Do you do that at your facility?
Yeah, so Robert does that, absolutely.
Okay, right, so he's an acupuncturist?
Yeah, and the nice thing about him is that he's got several, so he does it both for the emotional as well as for the structural and pain side of things. So he's done a lot of extra, not that he calls himself it, but he's done esoteric acupuncture, which is about healing the chakras and meridians and the energy systems of the body. So, and I know that seems like a weird thing because it is quite different to standard acupuncture, which is about moving the energy so that the pain is lessened or the immune system's boosted or the energy's boosted. So, and he uses pulse checks. Have you ever had pulse checking done?
Probably have, but
I
just look away.
Right. I don't want to know.
When I have blood taken, I can't look at that.
Yeah.
No way. I just go straight on the floor.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one. No. I just cry.
Do you?
Yeah, I just cry.
But you don't mind doing it to other people?
Oh, I love taking... I can even take my own blood for live blood. Isn't that weird?
No way. Oh.
It's only a drop. Yeah. Sorry, it's only a drop. No. So it's out of the fingertip and it's, with one of those little diabetic needles. So it's not a big deal.
The ones with, when you go and get a full
No. This is like, no. This is a 3 millimetre needle.
The first time I ever had it done was when I was called up in the army many years ago, and they took blood, and I felt so crook. Yeah. I felt terrible.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things about acupuncture, because the needles are so thin, they can get to areas where massage can't. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to calm down a muscle that's spasming and it's deep inside, how do you can't get to it from massage. So I've had people with like chronic shoulder pain and chronic hip pain, and I've probably even mentioned I had some acupuncture for my hips a while ago, and it really wasn't doing the trick, and I was getting this once again, I just assume I'm always on the edge of that autoimmunity, especially when I'm not looking after my diet and having an extra wine at night or something like that. So, but the needles weren't really doing it, but then I had Chini Seng. So Chini Seng's the abdominal massage that we do. So Shelby and Rob both do that. And it was actually a muscle on the inside of the pelvis that had spasmed. So it was actually the Chini Seng abdominal massage that sorted that out for me. Never had a pain since.
All right, we're going to take a very quick break. This will be a quick one. There'll be no music, but a couple of commitments.
Absolutely.
Deals. Come back with Madonna Guy and head towards her little holiday. That's up next here on Bay FM. Just looking at the radar too, there's a couple of little cells coming from the north down towards the Redlands area. Heading towards the Logan part at the moment. I'm just looking at Wynnum. No, nothing at Wynnum, but certainly coming across Archerfield, Ipswich, Logan. There's one that might hit us here. Not a big one, it's not severe or anything like that, but could be a bit of rain on the way. So we'll be back in just a moment.